Hi everyone, it's Derek from the iReady podcast, and this is my reaction to the 4-1 victory against Hamilton today away in the Scottish Cup. The result makes it look as if it was fairly easy, but it really doesn't tell the full story. Certainly in the first half, I could have really put up one of my previous reaction pods and just said, see that, because it was largely the same. Once again, we had the bulk of the play, we had most of the possession, but everything broke down once we got to their box. We were trying to take too many touches. We were trying to walk the ball into the net once again. Anytime we were having a shot, it went wide or it was too easy for the keeper to save. And with the risk of repeating myself time and time again, we need to start playing differently, I think, because we're allowing ourselves to get stuck in the rut of playing to the same pace as other teams. And then they hit us on the break. And as we obviously seen, they can score goals from that. So anyway, as I said, we're largely in control of the game, a lot of possession, and then we ended up getting a penalty on the 23rd minute. No arguments about the penalty at all. It was a clear penalty. Morelos took the ball round the player into the box. The defender was falling and really threw his body right in front of Morelos to block him. Obstruction and a clear penalty. No arguments at all. Scott Arfield was the chosen one this time to take the penalty, and he shoots the ball to the left. Keeper saved it, but it rebounds out and he taps the rebound in. Quite fortunate, I felt, to get the goal in the end. It was a poor penalty. It was at the right height for the keeper to save, as usually done, but couldn't do anything about the rebound. So, bit of fortune there, but we'll take it every which way we can. And then we kept on playing the same way we were doing, and then we were hit on the break, and it was a really poor goal to lose once again. 37th minute, Hamilton drew one each. Hamilton got the ball forward with a long ball through the middle over the top of the defence. We were backing off all the time. Hamilton player holds it up, a simple pass to the right hand side for the overlapping attacker. We were still backing off at this time, not willing to put a challenge in, bearing in mind there was only two players back at this point, and with a simple trundle in, he put it in the left side of the goal. Really poor defending again, and I thought we had kind of stopped doing this, kind of getting caught out with a long high ball over the top, but it's reared its ugly head again, and it was a really poor goal to lose. And then we kind of felt, where are we going from here? Moment of controversy, though, on the 46th minute. There was about 3 minutes of injury time, and it ran on just because of various things. But moment of controversy, there was a cross into the box from Hamilton on the right. Goldson dived in on the deck to try and get his head to it. The ball hits off Goldson's arm and smothered by his body for McGregor to gather. The referee and linesman, I'm not sure if they were in the best of positions to see it. It could have been given a penalty. Rules, I would say, argue against that, but we've seen these being given, and we've seen them not being given, as was the case today. If you remember back a couple of seasons ago to Russell Martin, I think he had 2 instances in the box where it was classed as handball when he slid in to try and defend it, and it hit his arm from close range. Obviously no intention to hit the hand, but it did, and the referee gave it. However, a couple of games after that, Hearts player, I think it was, the ball was played in, clearly hit his arm, which was above his head, and no penalty was given. So if any mutants listening in, which I know there will be because there was a few complaints online on Twitter about it already, if you just take a look back at the full of the Hibs game we played there and think of the decisions that went against Rangers there or were not given against Hibs, then that's maybe one in the bank for Rangers then, if you want to claim that was a definite penalty, because these things go for you and they go against you sometimes. This was our one decision out of 20 that actually went for us. So, but into half time we had to regroup, and again we kind of did start playing a wee bit better, but then we quickly went back into our usual form of getting the ball forward, getting nowhere in the final third, and then kind of out of nowhere we went 2-1 up with Joe Aribo scoring. Kenton was down the left hand side, stays quite tight to the touchline, starts to drift in with his pace. He got past his man, crossing on the deck to cut it back to Aribo in the box, and our first touch shot into the back of it. Great goal all round, and that's more of the Ryan Kent we want to see. That's the Kent we bought. Instances like that have been few and far between since he signed it back for us again, but fortunately he popped up today to do it, and Aribo getting the goal as well. And then it was almost floodgates open. I think Hamilton couldn't do anything. They had already used up their 3 substitutions, and it was damage limitation for them, and they started to go a wee bit forward. It opened up the gaps as well. We made a couple of changes with Barisic was forced off through a knock. Hopefully it's just more precaution. Halliday came on, Hadji coming off, Davis coming on, Kent came off, and Stewart came on. And then we got the third goal on the 84th minute with Morelos. Aribo through the middle, passes wide to left to Stewart. He starts to cut inside. It was possibly a shot, maybe a cross, I don't know, but it was deflected up off the boot of the defender, right to the back post, and Morelos heads it into the back of the net. So really good to see Morelos getting his tally for 2020 off the mark. I think it was something he was needing. Hopefully that'll spur him on to open up the floodgates now. And then we weren't finished yet though. In the 91st minute into injury time, Arfield scores his second of the game. A quick break up the park down the left. It was a cross in, cleared from the defender, and with a 25-yard beautifully placed first time shot into the top left bin, he scores his second. A great goal, probably the pick of the bunch today. Arfield played well, scored 2 goals, obviously one of them with a rebounded penalty. Certainly the players of the game for me were Arfield, Aribo and Hadji. Certainly all played well. The rest of the team, off the boil again, I felt. As much as it was competent enough, I mean, certainly Hamilton had a couple of chances. There was one great chance in the first half where they were pretty much one-on-one with the keeper, and a great pace and last-ditch tackle from Kamara coming back put it out for the corner. But other than that, Hamilton never really threatened today, but I felt we could have done a lot better. Certainly solves 2 problems, because the replay, if we had drawn the game, would have went on Tuesday, which meant the game on Wednesday would have been cancelled against Kilmarnock in the league, so we would have been drifting probably further points behind. And also Dave and I would be recording another podcast on Tuesday, so both issues are solved there. And obviously, as I said, me and Dave will be back with a podcast on Tuesday night, so it'll be out early hours of Wednesday morning. Obviously Wednesday we've got the next game coming up against Kilmarnock as well, so another vital game we've got coming. So as ever, if you want to check our podcast out, you can go to our website, which is ireadypodcast.wordpress.com, and you can find all the links to our stuff there. So have a good rest of your weekend. Thanks a lot, and bye.